Meeting notice. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Belvidere Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, place thereof posted with the Star Ledger and the Express Times and submitted to the town clerk of Town of Belvidere on January 7th, 2019. Rise for the pledge, please.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Blum?
Here.
Mrs. Buchanan? Here. Dr. Zucker?
Here.
Mr. LeBar? Here. Mr. Lucas?
Here.
Mrs. Powell? Here. Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mrs. Steffen?
Here.
Mrs. Williams? Here. Mrs. Costantino? Here. Mrs. Scott? Here.
Sorry. We have time in our meeting for public participation. Does anybody from the public have anything to say? Go ahead.
Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Boyer and Dempsey, where are they?
Who are you? Can you
I am
tell us who
Patty
you are?
You should know me well.
I know, not everybody does.
Boyer and Dempsey, where are they?
Anything else?
I'd like an answer.
Well, public participation, we don't necessarily answer. but
Okay.
You state your case and
Okay. Well, let me state this. Because of this Belvidere High School Board of Education, for the past year and a half, my life has been devoted to nothing but standing up to two gentlemen. And because of this Board of Education, I have had to sit in front of the prosecutor's office, along with this woman, for nearly 2 hours being interrogated. These men were cleared of criminal charges that the public has no idea what's even going on. Why? Because when we attended our first meeting at the Belvidere High School Board of Education, your lawyer sat right there and silenced us. And out of respect for each and every single one of you board members, we stayed silent. It was difficult for us. Every meeting we came to, every meeting we stayed silent. Not for our sake of our own children, but for you, the Board of Education. We respected you, we held true to our word, and we stayed silent. Then we got called to testify on a criminal case, cleared of all charges. Amen. Go back to work. No. Board of Education steps up again and puts filing tenure charges on these people, telling them that they are no longer going to be working if they have anything to do about it. Another case ensues. Her and I again, 2 hours interrogated at the arbitrator's office, testifying on behalf of these two gentlemen. We begged you all in the beginning of this, before anything ever happened, talk to us. You all went into executive session how many times? We pleaded with you, listen to what we have to say. We can clear all of this up. Not one of you took us up on it. Not one of you took us into that Board of Ed room. Not one of you talked to us about what exactly happened. So for a year and a half of our lives, of our kids being graduated, of slander for not only these coaches, me, her, our children, we've had to sit through being called liars. We've had to sit through being called that we embezzled funds as booster club members, but we stayed silent out of the respect for the Board of Education. And now, because you all made us a part of this process, we finally get the word that the coaches are cleared. They're to go back to their positions. They're to go back to coaching. And what happens? They're not here. What's going on? I mean, as a public person, I feel that the people don't even have any idea of what's going on. I know someone whose daughter was supposed to be scheduled for Mr. Boyer's class. It says his name on the schedule. They're incoming freshmen. They have no idea of what has taken place over this entire time. It's an injustice. And the amount of money that has been spent, the public you have no idea what these men have been going through. You have no idea how they have been crucified, how we have been crucified, how we have to stand up to our children and say, trust us, trust us. We are not going to defend two people who are not innocent. And yet we listened to our two sons tell us about the kids that were able to run their mouth at your school. At your school. not silenced. The parents that started this whole baloney. They're at basketball games, telling other parents, hey, listen, if that Board of Ed isn't going to do anything about it, I'm going to do it myself and call the state police. Are you kidding me? I wish they would have called the state police, because you know what? I think if they did, it would have all been over with by now. But you're all sitting up here, half the public has no idea what's going on. But let me tell you right now, if we don't get answers tonight, we're taking it. We're going. We're going to the media, we're going to the news, we're going to anyone who will listen, because we have been silent out of respect for every single one of you board members. We have been silent for a year and a half, and we're not going to be silent anymore. And that's not a threat, that's the truth. And let me tell you something else. We have heard that there have been several board members who have been talking a little bit of smack about Ms. Grafer and myself. We know who you are, we know what's been said. And if we were told to remain silent, you should all be able to remain silent. And let me tell you something. If we hear one more word about either one of us, you'll regret it. Patty?
She is absolutely correct.
Can you just do me a favor, state your name?
Patty Grafer. My question is, again, why aren't they back? The school was informed they were to immediately be reinstated, including their coaching positions. And yet, like she said, here we are. We're waiting. Twice cleared, twice innocent. Yet we're here. How much more money is this school district going to spend of my taxpayers' money? Shelley, I'd like to know where I find the amount of money that has been spent. The public needs to be aware. I would like to inform the sending districts why their tuition's going up. Because who's paying for this? Are we paying for this? Taxpayers paying for this? I want to know, Shelley, you have my email address, you have my phone number. Where do I find the exact number? Because I want to know what it is. Because I'd like to share that. Also, you're all aware that in a few weeks, everything that happened at arbitration meeting will be up for the public to view. Be aware. We will inform everyone to view it. You know what's on it. I think you should be man enough to stand up and say, I was wrong. I was wrong. You men were innocent, and I should drop this. And apologize. You believed it, and you have the right to. Twice proven innocent. It's time to stop it. No more taxpayers' money. Not at our expense anymore. And we will be addressing the public and whoever wants to listen. We have the truth. We've given it twice. Twice cleared. Through the Warren County Prosecutor's Office and through the Arbitration Committee. How much longer are we going to do this? Not my taxpayers' money. So, and I'd also like to find out about, you have a teacher, a substitute teacher that is not a certified, how are you producing grades for those kids in that class that Poyer should be teaching? How are you providing grades? How have you done that? They're only allowed to go 40 days. Well, we all know it's been since last December. How's that happening? Can you tell the public that? How are we doing that? It has to end. It's time to end. So we will pursue this further because we no longer have to be silent because they were proven innocent and we were told we can now speak. We were quiet and we're not anymore.
And Mr. Lazara, I'd like to know
Oh, yes.
where he lies in all this, because he's the one that put his John Hancock signature of approval. If he had an issue with it, he should never have done that. It's our understanding, and granted, it's the rumor mill, and we learned from the hard way not to listen to the rumor mill. But in this case, rumor mill stated that Mr. Lazara had a stack full of papers on his desk, and he didn't read and didn't realize what he was signing. Okay? Well, our kids have been at this school for 4 years. I had an older boy who went to this school. She had an older boy that went to this school. What else is Mr. Lazara having a stack full of papers on his desk and not taking the time to read? What other expenses have we incurred because Mr. Lazara has not had the opportunity to go through these papers and actually read them? You are the principal of this school. You are given a piece of paper. You better well read that paper. As somebody that I entrust with my kid at this school, as a taxpayer, I need to know where my funds are going. I'm trusting my principal is actually reading what's in front of him. And now he's not? It's also my understanding they got a little slap on the hand and a reprimand in his file. I don't believe it. I don't believe it because this whole thing has been made up of nothing but lies that have grown and grown and grown and snowballed and snowballed and snowballed. Again, we respected you. We have been silent for a year and a half. We would have actually stayed silent out of respect for you this past year and a half if those two gentlemen were back to work. After all that we went through, we were still going to respect you. We were still going to be quiet and let it ride out. But those two men aren't here. And because those two men aren't here, we are here. And we're not going away. And we're not going away. Thank you.
Anybody else have any public participation tonight? No? Okay. Moving on our agenda. Chris, any or Shelley, any correspondence?
I just handed us 2 letters. One is our anniversary and one from the staff member regarding students attending here.
Okay. Anything else? Nothing else? Superintendent's report.
Do you have a hold up on goals?
Yeah, you might want to.
I just have a couple of things just to throw out real quick. We talked about the energy audit. We just talked about it in the finance committee. The energy audit will be taking place next week. Hopefully we'll get some positive results out of that. And as soon as we do get the results, we'll get that right out to the Board of Education. I had mentioned in an email on Monday that myself, CSAs from Hope and White met with the owner of the Land of Make-Believe about our schedule for next year. And again, the Land of Make-Believe wants us to open after Labor Day. If you've looked at a calendar, Labor Day is late next year. So we would like to open up before. I know a few board members asked the question, how many students actually worked at the Land of Make-Believe? And last year the total was 6. We had 6 students working there. So just so you know that. And then the last thing it's been asked a couple of times, the 8th grade parent night for parents of incoming freshmen will be March the 2nd. That's what's scheduled right now. So I'll make that a brief report tonight.
Okay, anybody have questions on that? Any of that? For Chris? No? Okay. No add-on, Shelley, to the agenda? No. Okay. So can I get a motion and a second for personnel items 1 to 4?
Motion.
Second?
Can I just ask a question?
Oh, hang on, we got to get a motion and a second first. Have we had a second?
Second?
Okay. Questions?
Number 2, about the Scarlet Scoop.
Yes.
I was at a meeting, I don't know, a couple months ago, when the students were presenting what they were doing with Scarlet Scoop. Great things. I thought that was going to be during the school day, though, so I wasn't sure where the stipend came from.
It's always been an extracurricular activity.
So
What?
it's not a class during the day, and
No, they're working on it above and beyond the normal classroom.
so this is just to be, why wasn't this approved then a while ago?
We didn't have a person in the beginning, and then there was a question that came up back in December about this stipend, I think it was around December, about the stipend, and we just answered the question and finally got the person on. The person has been doing the job all year.
When are they meeting? After school, at night, weekends?
After school.
Designated date,
I can find that out for you.
or what else does she teach? What is her main?
She's the person we talked about, half media specialist, half social media, that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Got it?
Any other questions for Chris? Or any other questions about these agenda items? Okay, Shelley, I guess you do a roll call.
Mr. Blum?
Yes.
Mrs. Lapina? Yes. Dr. Zuppert?
Yes.
Mr. LeBar?
Yes.
Mr. Lucas?
Yes.
Mrs. Powell?
Yes, except number 2.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Stefan?
Yes.
Mrs. Williams?
Yes.
Mrs. Scott?
Yes.
Mrs. Costantino? Yes.
Okay, can I get a motion and a second for agenda items under education 5 through 7?
Motion.
Got a second? Any questions or comments on those? No? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? Nay? Abstentions? Okay. Motion and a second for business items 8 through 9.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Continuing business, Shelley, you want to talk about the budget?
Catherine, do you want to report, or would you like me to?
You can.
Catherine's our chair of the finance committee, so I asked. We just met again tonight to go over the budget. We reviewed different cuts that we would have to put in place to balance the budget as it is. We felt that it's still evolving, as there's still numbers that we don't have. And we're going to meet again next week to try to come up with our first draft preliminary budget, and then have the full board get a copy of it for the February 26th meeting.
I just had under continuing business just to mention my goals. We had talked about
Yeah.
that at the last meeting. I'll send them out to everybody over the weekend, just kind of taking into account what we talked about with Dr. Zwicky and what that could look like with some bullet points on that. Feel free to comment, anything you would see for an addition or something taken out.
Okay.
So just that way we can continue that and get those set. Not that we're not working on them already, but just to continue to work on them.
Okay, does anybody else have anything they want to add for new business?
I do. Last meeting, we had the NJEA and a teacher address us and expressed severe discomfort with how we are proceeding with the problems with their benefits. My concern for this is that they see all of us as not cooperating with what they're requesting for us to do. And I'm not sure that the whole staff is aware that the Board of Education has taken a lot of time to work on this. And sometimes I'm believing, as a board member, that the information that goes back to the staff in this school is not accurate, and that 100% of what we are trying to do is not being presented to you. I'm very disappointed in this. I feel that if you have a representative, that representative should bring everything to you and let you make the decision as a whole. I'm asking for Shelley to present, if she can, if not tonight, then wholly to the school district staff, what we have decided, the dates that were brought up in the last meeting, and what was presented to their NJEA reps, and when those meetings occurred, what was decided, and where we actually went, because things were in process. But on the other end, it was stopped wholly and told, no, we're not going to do it that way, when we were working forward. So sometimes what you do here on the outside is not 100%. And sometimes sitting on this board can be very difficult. There's two things that are going on right now that really do disturb many of us on this board, and we are trying to work through them. But that really does aggravate me as a board member, that when we work with a group, that some things are fictitiously told to other people that never came out of our mouths, and they're told that, no, we didn't, they didn't meet this deadline when we did. So I'm just asking that, Shelley, whether you can do it today or make sure that it's done, so that the whole of the staff knows the dates, what was supposed to be done, what was presented, and what we did on our end to fulfill those requirements, because we did fulfill them.
I'll just add that we actually met again tonight with the BEA, working on the healthcare issue, and we have made some pretty good progress. So I think the board will discuss where we got to later on, but I think hopefully that information is going to be going out to the members at this point, and hopefully we're going to get to a resolution. But
Hopefully.
I could definitely otherwise go through each of the steps that we have taken to make sure everyone has all the information.
I also think that, those two issues obviously are pressing, but I just think it's important for all of us to be educated on everything that's going on, and me being new, I'm not sure if there are any other grievances out there. If there are, if we can get that information. I'm not saying publicly now, but if you can get that information.
We just met today, and again, the ladies don't mind me speaking. I met with Linda and Judy today to try to shore everything up, and I think we're just down to the two, correct, if I recall? We're just down to the two, so no new ones at the moment, but I can update you on that.
Anything else under new business? All right, let's go to continuing business. All right, I guess we were under continuing business. Sorry, my mistake. I have a bunch of continuing business then, since we're still there.
We're still there.
First, I'm going to pass.
Mary Ann,
Yeah.
but what about, and I wasn't at the last meeting, the Educational Foundation? Is that a continuing business?
That would be a continuing business.
Is there anything more that needs to be discussed about that?
We had a large discussion with the,
Dr. Zwicky.
Yeah, Dr. Zwicky from Mount Olive, and I think he was going to, or you and he were
He's
going to
gonna
put
help
something
us,
together.
yes. The conversation, Brian, revolved around the age-old question of who establishes the foundation. And Dr. Zwicky had some good ideas, and he was going to help us reach out. Obviously, the way he presented it, which made sense at the time, was the board shouldn't be a part of that, but we have to at least get it going. And he had some good connections through Rutgers. They set up the foundation model through Rutgers, and he's going to help us with that.
Is he going to make another presentation to us? Is he going to submit something to us?
He's going to submit something to us. If we'd like him to come back, he'd be more than happy to. I know not everybody was happy with paying the money for him to do it. So, but if we wanted him to come back, he would be extremely happy to come back.
Is there any kind of time frame on the follow-up with the next step?
I would expect, hopefully by the end of the month, because I've been kind of I won't say constant communication, but a couple times a week, just going back and forth.
Okay, good. Thank you.
John, can you take one of those and pass it? All right, for clarification purposes, when we send emails around, there's been the whole thing with reply to all, do not reply to all. So I forwarded everything to our attorney and asked him to put a blurb together as to what we can and can't do. So what you have in front of you is the blurb from the attorney, which basically says we cannot reply to all because we're in violation of the Open Public Meetings Act. Now, every one of us that has been here on the board for a while have complained at one time or another about not having all the necessary information at a board meeting to make an intelligent decision. Finance would be one. We're asked to vote on a budget. You have no idea what goes on. So one of the things I want to make sure that did happen going forward is that everybody has all the information necessary to make decisions in a timely manner, which is why we send out emails, information only. Those emails cannot be replied to all. We will be in violation of the law. They are sent out for informational purposes only. If anybody does not want that to happen, speak up. If anybody does not want to receive those, speak up. But I am going to make it an effort. I will do everything possible to make sure everybody has every piece of information, but we will do it in a legal manner. Okay? So that should put that to bed, I hope. I have my follow-up list from all the stuff we have been discussing, so I'm going to run down it. Student rep to town council.
Working on that. I've talked to Ms. Cope about that. It's not a enviable position.
I know you sent out to all the Board of Ed members the list so we can sign up for
Yeah, and
council meetings.
it was pointed out there was one issue with one of the later dates I got to go back and fix.
Yeah, and at the last two, it asked for something we couldn't enter.
Yeah, I gotta
So
go
if
back and
you-
fix that.
I don't know if anybody's actually replied to that. Did anybody go to Monday's meeting? Yeah, yeah,
I signed up for like the summer meeting.
okay,
So I signed up to go to one of the meetings.
okay.
So I did sign up. And then I shared the finance notes
Yes,
from
thank you,
last.
Bill.
Did everybody get that?
I didn't get it.
Oh,
You probably sent it to the board. and
I think it
forgot.
probably, yeah, okay. Because that was the notes from last meeting, but I haven't gotten any notes from like any of the other committees.
None of them have met. That's
Okay.
why you haven't gotten any. We have scheduled,
Okay.
I actually have it on a piece of paper here.
Personnel's meeting next week.
Personnel's meeting on the 19th, instructional accounting's meeting on the 22nd, There's tentatively a liaison set for the 18th. I don't know if that's
So they're all
still set
coming
or
up
not.
now, so you're good.
Right. We have to reschedule the curriculum, which was
Yeah,
originally set, but we had to
reschedule.
reschedule it. So they're all coming up. So I will ask the same at that one as I did at the finance, that we
Okay.
vote on a chairman. The chairman, within 7 to 10 days, gets meeting minutes out to every member of the board, so they know what took place and what went on, so all questions can be answered. And you have any questions like you did, Ted, email them to the chairperson, they will answer your questions.
I didn't think that you needed a copy of that because Shelley takes notes too, so I didn't, I just.
We should both be copied on all board correspondence.
Just so they have it, yeah,
Okay.
nothing spectacular.
Because if somebody asks us, one of us, the questions from that specific meeting, to be able to know exactly what
I
they asked.
understand.
Okay, open house at the high school?
The 2nd of March.
Wow.
I mentioned that, didn't I?
I didn't, I must have blown it off, sorry. Next board meeting, you're gonna set the goals?
Yeah.
Push that off one, just because.
Yeah.
I did notice on my way in tonight that the high school signboard has some more information on it, but it would be nice if it had Thursday's inductee.
Good point.
It would also be nice if the app on our phone didn't list tomorrow night as the board meeting.
Okay. Ms. Julie, are you here?
If I could get to the app, I would show you.
Eric's going to check that out right now.
And Eric, it won't let me go on, because I'm not signed into your Wi-Fi. But yeah, if you
He'll
look,
take
it's
it
tomorrow,
out.
it's Thursday night at midnight, just for the sake of argument.
Well, I plan to be here for that.
All right, good. I'm not coming, so don't hold on for me. Doc had brought up about St. Luke's in the weight room.
Mr. Bartow met late last week with 2 high-ranking officials from St. Luke's, and he's going to report back to me on what they had to say. He was going to cover a couple things, not just the weight room, there's a couple other things.
Okay, good. Doc had also brought up about bringing the NJSBA in.
Yeah, we can do that. We just need to pick a date.
Okay.
Yeah.
You probably got to get a date from them first and then float it with us.
Kathy likes us to give her some dates first. It's easier for her to try to manipulate her schedule.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to do that middle of February, you want to do more end of March? You want to do
More end of March, yeah.
Okay. I'll float some dates out there.
Okay,
Just let me know if there's any dates that don't work at the end of March for school boards to come in.
okay. That's to all of us.
That's all, to everybody.
Yeah.
If there's any conflict dates that I don't know about.
Okay. A lot of questions on freshman sports. John, I think you had them. Did you get all the information you need?
I received some information, and he said that he'll know 2 months prior to this board.
Okay.
So that no decision has been made, but depending on numbers, that he did send me some data, but the numbers will be changing. So there's been nothing decided for this one.
You wanted the backup information, though, from the last time we
From the
discussed it.
September
Did you
meeting,
get
he
that?
did send me that.
Okay, good.
And we do believe right now we're going to have enough for at least the freshman softball team. I think there's, Mr. Bartow told me today 29
That's a lot.
kids signed up.
Okay, good.
I may be exaggerating that number
Is
a
that
little
just
bit.
softball or baseball too?
That's just freshman softball. I might be exaggerating it by 2, but it's in the 20s.
So no freshman soccer or baseball?
Yeah. don't know
We'll,
yet.
we'll see as we get closer to them, but right now the numbers for baseball were not strong.
Yeah, soccer.
Yeah, but softball for sure, softball was, I think he said 29, but I think that sounds like a lot.
That
but-
sounds like most of the freshman
Yeah,
balls.
it sounds like a lot, but I know he was in the 20s.
Oh, is
Yeah.
there?
Been doing
Yeah.
it since like freshman, fifth grade, so, and now they're most of them are freshmen.
Yeah, so it was pretty significant number.
And I think that's all I have on my follow-up list. Anybody else have any?
Yeah, going back to this, I appreciate the information. I always want to do everything above board. And like I said, if we're going to make sure we don't reply all, I want to make sure we do everything above board. And I have no problem reading the correspondence in public if that's the way you want to do it. So I just want to make sure we're being as transparent as agreeable as possible. We all have access to the same information,
Yep.
and I have no problem doing that. If that's
If you want to read, if you have anything you want to read, feel free. Now would be the time.
do you want me to read the email that I sent to all of you?
We all read it, so
For the public?
whatever you'd like to do.
Yeah, sure. Good afternoon. I understand that we are not supposed to reply all. In fact, I've been very careful in following the protocol of addressing my past emails to Chris and Marianne only. However, since Marianne sent out the information about Mr. Edelstein, our lawyer, waiving the fee of the appeal, I thought this was a necessary time to do so. First, I questioned why it was necessary or appropriate to email all of us the information about the waived fee in the first place. Information like this should have been given in the meeting, and it could have waited until Wednesday night. It seems biased to send it out now, probably only in hopes to give more information to undecided members to pursue the appeal. Marianne insisted that we take 2 weeks to think. To me, adding this information now can only be meant to sway others to vote in favor of the appeal. Moreover, how do we even know that LCN is waiving the fee? Again, this means that the lawyer has either been in contact with Chris or Mary Ann, so business is being conducted outside of the meeting. On another note, I firmly do not believe that this appeal will not cost the district any more money. This will end up taking a lot of time, and even if another penny wasn't spent on legal fees, which I highly doubt, at the very least, we will continue to have to pay a sub, as well as 7 blocks. Money is definitely not the only concern of mine, which I don't want to pursue the appeal, but it's not the only one. I think this case has been an enormous waste of time. It has contributed to poor morale in the district, has ruined reputations, and has been a source of angst in the community. I have no problem sharing my opinion at the next meeting if members prefer that I know that we are supposed to conduct business in an open forum. In fact, I actually hope to do so in public session. In the end, whether we appeal or not, we're all going to have to respond to questions and concerns from the community at some point as to why these faculty members are not back to work, as well as the outcome of the case. We can and should not continue to keep this quiet. If by the time you're done reading this, you're ready to react and respond to me about inappropriate use of email and the fact that I replied all, you could save your time. I've realized very quickly that proper regulations have not been followed here, specifically the fact that these employees did not receive rights notifications at the last meeting. I emailed that concern prior to the meeting and even asked aloud in executive session. Rights is a legal issue, so please refrain from educating me on my etiquette, especially after I've offered to share this publicly. I definitely hope that at the next meeting, going forward from here, we can all work better together to move in a more positive direction as a group entrusted with this district. So I will not reply all.
Thank you.
I just want to say, not necessarily in regards to reply all, but I have been against this case from the beginning, and I thank them for their presentations tonight. I second Jen's opinion on this. I do think it's a waste of time. I think they should be back to work. I am not in favor of the appeal, and, we'll see what happens.
Okay, anybody else?
And I'm just so glad that I can say that out loud now. Good. I am so glad that I can say that out loud.
You're up to,
We'll do public participation and then go to exec.
unless you want to go football. Either way.
We should,
Oh, are we public participation?
hold on, wait.
Oh, sorry.
Hold on, Judy.
Okay,
We're trying to decide.
that's how it is on the agenda.
You might as well do it. Do it now.
Do it now? So you are going to probably take action though after this, right?
We are going to take action.
Okay, we'll do public participation, then we're going to go to executive session, and we will take action
Crazy.
after exec. So go ahead, public participation. You're up, Judy.
All right. My act together here. Mrs. Weiss, thank you for your comments. Just let me talk about this a little bit. You said that, assuming you mean me when you mean leadership of the NJEA, because I am the president, you said that I don't bring this information to my...
I don't feel that you do, no.
Okay. At the end of October, I called a general meeting. The deadline was October 25th. I called a general meeting for all members. They didn't all come, but as many came. I shared all the documents with them. I shared the exact documents that you gave me. I don't mean you, I mean the board. The membership did not feel that that agreement that you had given me, the proposal, met the terms of the PERC order and our agreement that we entered into on September 25th. Right before Thanksgiving, and I'm not sure exactly the date, it was the Monday or Tuesday before Thanksgiving, NJEA had a general membership meeting over at Belvidere, where everybody came. They shared all of the documents with everyone, including your proposals. January, not much else happened. January 20th, I requested that Shelley, Chris, and Mary Ann wasn't yet president, but she became president right after that, meet with Chrissy Weber, who is our vice president, Linda Osorio, who is our grievance chair, and myself, meet together to try to hammer out something without attorneys and without NJEA. And we have met. We met January 20th, we met January 29th, and we met again tonight. We're getting there. We still don't have...
My contention is that, and maybe it's part of the members' fault, you guys need to go to these meetings, but when You presented, and then, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name.
John?
John presented. I felt that you were feeling, and specifically you, that we did not move forward and that we were not working with you when we, as a board, were told from Shelley that we presented this, this, and this. And it's just, you know, maybe it's two sides against each other, and we're not completely understanding, and hopefully with the transparency that's going to occur with more memos coming out about committee meetings, it will be more transparent to us as board members. But I absolutely felt that you felt that we were not meeting on this, we were not moving forward, and that the staff, who I have talked to other than what has come to these, are like, well, you know, the benefits are bad enough, and now you guys aren't even working with us. And that's what's coming from your staff to us, and that's not what's happening. I feel that we, and you all know, I was one of the ones that voted no.
I do know.
And to make it workable for everyone on your staff, we have been discussing this a lot. And to be told, as a board, you're not working on this. And as a board, you're all in trouble, you know, you're all the ones that, the reason why it's not working. Well, there's two sides to that. So that's my contention. My contention is that, number one, if the staff's not showing up, that's on them. That's on them to not be responsible enough to know what's going on for their own welfare. It's not on me as a board member to sit here and say that I know everything, because I don't. I'm not on certain committees. I don't know what's going on. But what we do know is what's discussed in exec, what's been presented, and I knew at that time, when you two were speaking, that we did meet guidelines, we did meet things that needed to be done, and we were presenting, and we thought we were going forward, and then it would just be stopped, because someone felt that it wasn't right what was going on. So that's my contention, is that you can't present us all as not working when we really are. And if you're going to speak to us as a board, you need to know that we are working to make things better and to work towards an end to this, and it has gone on too long, and we all feel that. 100% of this board feels that this has gone on too long. And it might only be a handful of your people that are really affected by that one situation, but we have tried to fix that situation. And that was my feeling, was that you felt like we were not working towards that goal, and we weren't even working at it. And that's what I felt, especially when you presented.
Mrs. Williams, did you read the document? Did you read the order, the PERC document? The order that came out on April 2nd that said that the Belvidere Board of Education is directed to establish and fund an interim program guaranteeing that during the and this is general information. You can get it online. You can see this document anywhere online. Just pull it up. It's there. Board of Education, PERC order. The Belvidere Board of Education is directed to establish and fund an interim program guaranteeing that during the pendency of this litigation or until this matter is otherwise resolved, unit members and/or their covered dependents may avail themselves of funds to pay upfront costs of medical care and any additional costs of medical treatment that would have been covered under the Horizon Plan. Disbursement of funds will be contingent upon the submission of a written certification to the board indicating that due to an inconvenience that directly affects their financial and personal welfare, a unit member and/or their covered dependents would forego or delay A, non-emergent maternity, cardiac, or cancer treatment, rather than 1, pay up front or out-of-network costs and await reimbursement, or 2, travel to the nearest in-network full-service hospital, or B, urgent care treatment, rather than A, pay a more expensive emergency room copay, or travel to the nearest urgent care facility. 2, negotiate with the association regarding the procedures for implementing the fund and for processing claims. This was dated April 2nd, 2019. That is over 10 months ago.
Which is, Shelley, which is what I'm asking you.
Over 10 months
Were we
ago.
ready then, and did we have a plan in place?
When we showed up at the meeting on, I'm trying to remember when the heck it was. September 8th, 10th. I said, so what are we doing? The answer I got was, we don't know. I said, you've had since April 2nd to figure this out. but we don't know. Then, at that date, we negotiated an agreement that was signed on September 25th. That agreement, I'm not going to read it because it's not public knowledge. I'm not going to read the agreement. But the agreement said that the board, within 30 days, would negotiate with us and would come up with something that's agreeable to all of us, to both the board and to us, to pay up front for medical care that we can't get. Because when you changed our health care in Monroe County, there's 2 hospitals. We don't have, one of them we can't use. And that one is the only full-service hospital. And there's no urgent care. Now, I will tell you that we are working on a plan so that there will be 1 urgent care, no, 2 urgent cares, right, in Monroe County that we can use. And yes, we did start working on it because I asked for it, because I pushed. And yes, we did start meeting, and yes, we are meeting now.
But what Colleen is speaking of is, yes, we did have an agreement in place with the NJEA for cards to start on November 1st for urgent care.
You had an agreement with John Roper's.
We
You
had an
didn't-
agreement.
All right, wait,
You didn't have an
stop.
agreement with
Time out,
us,
people.
Shelley.
Now, let's
Time
not
out.
re-argue.
This is public participation. Let's not
Yeah.
argue about it, because we don't go back and forth in
Yeah,
public.
no.
Colin, you have a valid
I'm
point.
saying-
Hang on, Judy.
Go ahead.
You have a very valid point. Shelley, you'll get that information together. We can present it out at the next meeting. We'll let Judy finish our public participation and go on.
But, I mean, to say that I don't bring it to my members is just not so. And I do know that you did not vote to change our health care. I do know that, and I do appreciate that. But we need to get it straightened out. And that is why we are meeting twice a month. I mean, I did 3 meetings today after school. I worked all day, and then I did 3 meetings. I've been here since, I don't know, whatever time it was this morning, 7:15.
I probably attended 8 meetings today.
Yeah, so, you know, I mean, yes, we are working on it, but no, the deadline wasn't me. The deadline was 30 days from when the agreement was signed, and that was signed on the 25th. So no, the deadline has not been me. Thank you.
Anybody else have public participation?
Dear God, an appeal? We're not going away. So if you're putting it to vote tonight, just take that into consideration. We are not going away. We will stand by these men. And to you, thank you for your honesty. And to Mr. Smith, Patty and I would like to thank you in particular, because that night that that lawyer shut us up, you were the only board member to say, just let them speak. And for that, we appreciate it. But public, realize this: you are paying salaries of substitutes, you are paying salaries of coaches, of the teachers, you are paying lawyer fees. We went to that arbitration. Closing arguments could have been done that very day that Patty and I testified. And your Board of Ed lawyer said, no, we're going to extend this, and I'm going to put it in writing. Public, that is billable hours. Billable hours. More money from Belvidere. And unless Belvidere School District has won the lottery and not said anything to us, please, I beg you, do not appeal this court case.
Anybody else?
Chris Coyle, high school history teacher. I just wanted to address the issue that you brought up earlier, Mrs. Williams. I, again, did also notice that you didn't vote to change our health care. I'm also thankful for that. But to the question of was the Belvidere School District ready or not, I emailed Shelley on October 16th. Said, Shelley, I know that next week is when the prepayment method is to be made available to us. But I'm trying to get a procedure set up now. I've had it to have to put off getting this done for quite some time. Due to the change of insurance, so I was wondering what day you will be making this available to us. 2 days later, she got back to me on the 18th and said, I understand, Chris, I understand your frustration. I wish I had an answer for you. The B.O.E. has professionals that specialize in this area working on a process that will hopefully be in place by next week. As soon as I have the information, I will provide it to you. I thanked her. I had to cancel that appointment on the 25th that I was supposed to get a procedure done on. I came to work that day. I then, on the 10th of December, again, beyond that 30 days that we were discussing, that the Belvidere School District had not met its definition, let alone going back to the April date. Shelley, given that the district has not implemented the prepayment method as it was to be made available to us by Friday, October 25th, 2019, I'm requesting the expected course of action on this matter, amount of funds remaining in the insurance fund handled by Brown & Brown, and a copy of the regulations and procedure in order for me to be refunded. I would again reiterate that I have made it known to the district that I have had to put off getting several procedures done for quite some time due to the change of insurance. Thank you. None of that, to me, was able to help me get my procedures done. So I would say no, it was not done. Any of the deadlines that were being made after April, after the agreement in September, and even to today. Thank you.
Any other public participation? Okay, we're going to go into executive session. I'll read the statement, but we're going to discuss HIB and litigation, and we have an open board seat that was vacated by Glenn, so we'll be interviewing 2 prospective board members. It is hereby resolved that the board will now go into private session to discuss HIB litigation and appointing a board member. Any discussion held by the board which need not remain confidential will be made public as soon as practicable. Minutes of the private session will not be disclosed until the need for confidentiality no longer exists. The board will reconvene in public session at the conclusion of the closed session. How long do you think it'll take?
10 minutes. I would probably say at least a half an hour.
Anybody who
Probably
believes
longer.
10 minutes, I got a bridge for you. And we will take action when we return.
We'll start with the HIB.
Motion and a second to go to exec.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
You want to do HIB first?
Aye.
Oh, well, that's
Okay, back. So executive session is over. We have some items we're going to vote on. Shall?
The one is on here, do that one.
Put my thing away. Okay, to approve the HIB findings, can I have a motion in a second?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Abstain? Or no and abstain? Okay.
We need a motion to approve an HRA effective March 1st, 2020.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention?
So we need a motion to appoint a new board member.
I move that we appoint Melissa Duckworth.
Anybody else? All in favor? Aye. No? Abstention?
I abstain.
I abstain.
I abstain as well.
4 abstentions. Abstention, whatever you call it.
Can I ask for, who is the motion for the HIB finding?
Ryan, I think.
And a second?
Doc.
Thank you. And we need a motion to appeal the 10-year findings.
I'll move it.
I'll
second it. Okay, so I'm going to say all in favor of appealing, just so everybody's crystal clear on what.
I would do a roll call.
Yeah, do a roll call, that's better.
So yes is to appeal, no is
Yes,
to not
correct.
appeal.
Yes is to appeal, no is to not appeal.
And we should swear in this stuff with him before we have the stuff to
Yes.
swear in. Take that, do it before the vote. Just thinking out loud.
Mr. Blunt.
Yes.
Mrs. Bikino.
Yes.
Dr. Zuppert.
Yes.
Mr. LeVar.
No.
Mr. Lucas.
No.
Mrs. Pell.
No.
Mr. Smith.
No.
Mrs. Steffen.
Yes.
Mrs. Williams.
No.
Mrs. Costantino.
No.
Mrs. Scott.
No.
Do we want to swear Mrs.
No, we
Duckworth
should swear
in
Mrs.
tonight?
Duckworth.
Yes, we should swear Mrs.
Just so
Duckworth
that
in.
she can be in on all the board activities.
Yeah, where is she? Come on up here.
All the way up here?
We have search warrant.
Come right over here.
Yeah, I know everything. Who's better to keep that corner after? Please stand up. Read it and put your name.
I state your name. Actually, you can just read it right on through. How about that?
Okay. I, Melissa Duckworth, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and this state under the authority of the people, so help me God. I do solemnly swear that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of member of a Board of Education, and that I am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 1941, nor disqualified due to conviction of a crime or offense listed in NJS 18A 12-1, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of that office according to the best of my abilities, so help me God.
Welcome.
Welcome to the board. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? Second. All in favor? Aye. No, abstained? Get out of here.